Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi here with another video for you. What I want to talk to you about today is I'm doing heroic White Oak Camp. Getting the president, sorry for the... And we're going to talk about tactics because I've been thinking about this a lot. On all these groups, there's a lot of people with a lot of builds, and we spend a lot of time grinding to get better gear. But what does that matter if you're miserable at tactics, or no one explains to you that when a grenadier grenades you with one, he's going to do it 2 more times, and you have to immediately leave the area. And that your 2 agents, and the theory of the game is you're such a badass that you can do all this by yourself, but you're now going to be in a situation where we're someone else, so you don't want to bunch up. And if you look at my radar, we're bunching up. So if you're a grenadier, 1 shot to bunched up people equals, they get some bonus achievement for killing agents with 1 shot, I imagine. So this is one of the things. You're trying to get the enemy, and you're trying to move the battlefield. And I talk to you about this a lot, and I say this is an important thing, how you shape the battlefield. You might be putting up a turret somewhere, and then you might be driving people to where your turrets are. You might triangulate people where you get 1 on the left and 1 on the right, up, down, what have you. Just basic tactics that you would use in a snowball fight. This is not beyond anyone. If you've ever had snowball fights, maybe you don't have, maybe you throw rocks at each other when you're kids, whatever it is. If you're a sniper, you want to have range. If you're a tank person, you want to get up close and personal. If you're a skill, you want to be where your skills can reach. And so this goes hand in hand with your build. I mean, you have to know what kind of build you have. What are the benefits of your build? What was your build designed? What do you think it was designed to do? For example, if you have tip of the spear, you're really trying to use your specialty weapons. It gives you a 35% bonus, depending on what piece you have equipped. But mainly, you're shooting people with your special signature weapon, and then you're shooting them with your normal weapon. And it's generating ammo for you. So, I mean, if you're demolitionist class, I mean, you can be far off to trigger that. And so here we are again, where we're getting flanked from behind, and my cohort is right next to me. And so this is one of the things about playing in pugs. He might be non-English speaking. He might be, just learning the game, just starting, what have you. And I don't want to be that guy that's going to get in the middle of the match and go, well, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm going to tell you a story later. And I did that. I usually tell you I'm not going to do something, and then I do it. But one of the things that you have to think about, and he's down again, is it's a cover-based shooter. There's guys that are shooting grenades at us. There's dogs that shoot grenades at us. Let's not be right next to each other. This is my standard build with Vial and Jammer. This is the piece I have Unbreakable. I told you I want to start using Tag Team. Unbreakable is pretty nice because you can see I kind of can be a little more aggressive, or I've become more comfortable being more aggressive. And so, number one, you should not let your team get flanked. So again, that's why you're kind of spread out. It's harder to flank, and then your job is to hold your side plus do damage. Now you could do that with turrets, skills. The other thing is, if you have skills, you should use them. On a heroic, a lot of times people will equip, the revive hive. And on a heroic, I would suggest one person have it. I never play heroics with revive hive because I'm not planning on dying, because the penalty is really bad. The problems with skills are, if you equip them, you tend to use them. So if I have a revive hive, I play a little more loose. And what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen, someone's going to pick me up. I'm going to die twice. I was in a legendary the other night. I'll probably make a video this week with it. And this was a low-level group, and they needed, there was 3 people in it, and they needed a 4th, and I jumped in, and they were all really low level. And what happened is we set up. This was in, I apologize, let me tell you where we're at. We're at Roosevelt Island. We're on the boss final level. You can either clear out the level with your turrets, or you can jump over. And usually when you jump over, if you do the turrets, you've cleaned everything out, so you're going to go to the boat. Or you jump over and then fight right there. And if you go to the right immediately, you will not spawn both copters, so you can take out each copter at a time. So this group I joined, they would put their turrets up, and after about 20 seconds, then they jump over. And not all together, one at a time. So we wiped a couple times doing that. Then I spoke up. I'm going to pause here for a second on that story. Go back to the video. We have already wiped once at this point, and I've had to revive this person a bunch of times. I don't mind reviving people, but there's no development of, oh gosh, maybe I should try things a little bit different.
They must be cutting through the bunker. There's an entrance just ahead. You should still be able to catch them.
So with this build, the Vile Jammer, I'm always trying to be in the middle of the map where I can just reach everything on the map. And we go through this part pretty well. And I think I was trying to play a little bit different. And what happens in the first time when we wiped, I might have had a little slightly different build, but the minute things go wrong, I go right back to my main build. And I often wonder, why am I even bothering going to these other builds? Because this build just helps me get through, like I've told you before, about 95% of the content. You will not be able to solo legendary with this, but as you know, I've soloed tons of things heroically with this build. And hopefully you're doing the same with your favorite build. So getting back to the legendary, we went and I said, hey, why don't we, and there's my partners down again. Why don't we, and we've already done this part. Why don't we try jumping over immediately? We jump over, go to the right. We take out a copter immediately. We take out the second copter. Oh, no. We jump over, and still maybe it's not all together, and we get grenaded to death by the, they rocket us to death. I put out a decoy the next time we go over. It's good. I think we went over one other time. And then by the 4th time, I said, I just looked at everyone's build. I said, you do this, you do this, you do this. And really the lowest level guy who had a striker build, I was like, just doesn't matter. Your skills don't matter. Just, you're going to be the DPS guy. So we had 2 people throwing out decoys and things went great. And that person eventually decided they were going to go lone wolf. After we got the 2 helicopters, and after we killed the helicopter down by the part you jump over by the containers, and the Chunga was the only thing we had left, and he's off. I go over, we mount a mission to go over and save, and we eventually wipe. So I said, hey, can we do this one more time? And this person said, I should have the revive on because, and I was like, if you stay next to the guy who's a dedicated healer, we can revive you and you won't go down. So last time we did it, you know, we all stayed together. We had the other high person kind of had our left flank. The striker guy was incredibly powerful on his DPS. He was like level 27, but he could do a lot of damage. And so we pretty much went through everything, killed the Chunga and did everything and did Roosevelt. But that was a group that was stuck on the last one because it's not that they don't have enough horsepower, it's just they don't know how to use it. And so part of the strategy in these kind of maps, you see we're going through this pretty easy now. I've changed my build and I'm trying to separate from him, but he or she is following me around, which is okay. But as you're going to see, we've already done this part. We got through this part, so he should remember that you're going to go over the bridge. There's guys coming at the bridge. So you're pulsing sooner rather than later. This first person is going to back up. I've talked to you about pressure before. Once they start feeling the pressure, they're not rushing as much. I'm not worried about the dog. It's going to be in the realm of my jammer, but my buddy is right next to me. And if you look at his health, he is always on no health. But I think he has a healing drone, but it's not up all the time. Now, everyone knows it's play this on heroic. After we kill this wave, about a group of 3 or 4 people can come out from behind us on the right. We've already done this and are going to see that. So at this point, I'm trying to, again, maneuver in the battlefield. And so he should move up, which he did, which is great this time. And he should stay away from me. And he should turn around and kill those people. And I get it if you haven't done this before, right? So that's, but now why? Why are we with me? And so here's a great thing. Well, he endorsed me, so thank you, sir, for endorsing me. Sir or madam. This person, now I'm just guessing, is just, he feels more comfortable with someone around them. So I'm just like, I'm just going to have to do this. So I can't do my normal strategy where we're going to triangulate. I got to kind of help shepherd this person along, literally. But we're also not doing a ton of DPS. And what I've told you before is this build's great, but I don't think as you get into 4-man instances that it can only do all the DPS by itself. And what I've done at this point, I normally don't come to this part to fight, but I moved around. I knew this spawn's coming, so I move around so that spawn's kind of in front of us. I left my turret over to the right, so that's going to be, you know, our flank protector. And we're getting flanked again. I am just going to actively go after the flanks. So this is what you have to do sometimes. You have to change your strategy to the situation. You can't just bulldog through everything and just say, nope, I'm going to do it my way. And so sometimes I think people, when they're playing this, they do that. They're used to playing on challenging or whatever. And for sure that happens to folks that go into legendary. They play it like it's a heroic, and you can get away with a lot of things on heroic, but legendary just punishes you for overconfidence. And this next section of the map is where we wiped. It's a difficult fight because it's a 3-dimensional fight, and much of the enemy is unseen to you. So if you think about the times where you smoke people in the Division 2, it's where where you can see everyone and everything's straight in front of you, and there's a left and a right. In this one, you can go up on the mountain path on the left, which I like to do because you keep everyone, you have elevation, you keep everyone, they can't really flank you to the left. I don't like going on the right along the water because they can see you, but I figure this person's probably only gone on the right. So I'm going to run as far forward as I can where I can place a turret. And now you can see someone's flanking us immediately. In Fantasyland, I would hope that he would get that person, but in reality I know he's not, and he's right on top of me. And he's down. So I've told you before, sometimes I make a mistake where I heal someone. I'm looking at my character and my Unbreakable just fired off. I'm running away because the guy is bazooking me. Here's what's great about what this guy does. He doesn't make me go to him. He comes to me. So that's a plus. That's a great move on his part. He should reset and go all the way to the left, back around, and come to the top. So tactics are important. And I have an idea for a video that I'd like to try, and we'll see how important they are versus maybe your gear or your build or whatever. And so if we were in a guild or a clan and we were on chat or something, I would explain to him why he needs to be down there and I'm up here. Or vice versa. And as soon as I hear the grenade launch, I'm getting out of that spot. That guy's going to keep doing that spot. Again, these are cues you got to just tune into in this game. So at this point, I'm not rushing too far forward. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. I have a feeling he's going to go along the water. And look at me, stupid, moving forward. You know, if you watch, some of my cadence is, every 13 seconds I can pulse them. So I'm moving when I can pulse, that initial disorientation on him, and I move forward. He's moving along the bottom, which is good at this point. I'm in a good spot for the grenadiers because I have this tree in, so I'm going to keep moving back and forth to give me a second to get up closer where I can pulse them again. And it looks like he has his drone available to heal him, but he doesn't have it. And he may be glitched. His health may be fine. Doesn't seem like it, though. There it goes. Okay, he's not glitched. The White Oak is one of the newer missions, not out of the original. So it's a lot harder. This next fight again is hard because it's a wide open fight. If you sit and are passive, they push all around you. They envelop you. But if you shape the battlefield, you kind of control it. So I'm going to try to push them all to the right. So I'm usually going to go to the left. He's going to climb on top. So number one, before I can advance, I gotta seal off this side. So I'm not moving. I'm gonna engage these people. Right, I hear the launch. I see that he's gonna maybe get flanked. So I go take that part.
I'll put him down.
And I think if I remember right, I push pretty far forward so I can really squish them. I almost never go this far forward, but I'm going to keep going so I can get a pulse. And hopefully what this does for my friend over there is that it makes it easier. And at a certain point, I retreat, and I'm going to reset what I'm going to do. Took a quick look at what's going on. And now he's doing really good. So this part is great. He's engaging them, and I'm trying to support him. And if I can take the aggro for that grenadier, and look, that's good. I don't know how long he was playing before. I'm just assuming it's him. I'm apologize to everyone. Don't know how long they've been playing this match, this day that I joined in. It was on a morning. And so this part, this is a really difficult fight. People are going to flank you on the left. You don't really have a good spot for a turret, so I'm going to try to throw it up there. He thinks I'm going over there. I'm not going over there. I'm hiding behind this thing. And what I'd like to do is push people off into the center. And there's Unbreakable again. I used to only use Unbreakable on tank builds, but you know, now with this new setup, it seems to be okay. So I'm going to try to push him again. I'd love to get rid of that thing. Selected the wrong weapon. Thinking better of it. So that's kind of the basics. If you think about when you're playing these maps, think about a hammer and an anvil. You know, you might be the hammer, and what can you smash these enemies? So you're trying to push them one side or the other, and that you and your group can take care of them. My feeling is, and I'm going to have to make a video to prove or disprove it to myself, is that your build doesn't matter and your gear doesn't matter, but your tactics matter. So I have a couple ideas on how to try that out, but for all of that, tactics, the quick review is each level of hardness you go up or down, the tactics are different. Number two, the style of your player, your tactics is dictated by what type of gear, whether you're a rifle person, a skilled person, tank, whatever, sniper. You're going to play a little bit different, so you take that. Obviously, you want to have fun in all this, so that kind of goes against. That's one of those things. If having fun is taking your build and ramming it down their throats, then more power to you, but I'd like to finish and complete the missions. And I want to help other people do that if they want, but you're going to see here in the last part, okay, we get grenaded, I get out of there, I'm going to go further out of there, I'm just going to reset everything for myself, try to reach it from here. And now I almost get smoked again, so I'm going to go back here. And so I'm going to push. I shouldn't be pushing on this boss. But this is the thing with Scorpio, you have this advantage. So I push, take the boss out. Going to pulse. I'm not in a good spot to heal him or pick him up. So there's this guy on the left. I got to take him out. There, that unbreakable launches. I really don't want to redo this again. So I'm going to make a decision here. I'm going to go to the left, hopefully. Cat's in the way at this critical moment. So he's down still. Okay, now I only have one enemy to do. I'm going to try to get him up since he invited me into the match. All right, I put a pulse on him, so I should go try to res him. Oh. Yep, here I'm going to try. And on cue, there's Roxy. Wouldn't be a video without it. Thanks for watching. I think I get him up here eventually. So hope to talk to you guys again soon.
Getting Ellis was always a long shot. Black Tusk specializes in dealing with situations like this. But